I don't know if you've heard this one, that Bob Knight may be a candidate for Arizona. Have you heard that one? Seriously. Yeah.
Gary, I'll tell you something. For as long as I've been in coaching, way back to when I was at Montana, Bob Knight has been mentioned for every opening that has ever come up. I'm serious.
Okay.
Because he's the name out there, and now he doesn't have a job. At Montana, he was going to take Montana State because he loved to hunt. It was just it's been an ongoing deal.
Yeah.
Arizona is going to try to find a highly visible coach, and I think Knight would certainly fit that category. And he's a great coach. But, it'll be interesting to see what develops there. They're going to go after the big-name people to start with, and I think they've got some money to dangle. But Lute's done a great job there, and following him, although there's been a couple interim guys, is not going to be easy because he set the bar at a very high level.
Okay. Is that true, though, about Montana State?
Oh, yeah.
Knight?
Oh, yeah.
I never heard that one.
You'd laugh because, I heard Knight's coming to Montana State. Well, yeah, he loves to hunt and fish.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you know what? He can take his private jet up to Montana and hunt and fish anytime he wants.
Because I remember he was trying to get a nice raise out of Indiana. He was going to go to New Mexico. I remember that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's that's kind of the game that's played in the coaching profession. The only way you can up your stock is to have somebody else want you, and then everybody kind of scrambles a little bit.
Let me ask you one that we talk about here all the time. With all the players leaving early to go to the pros, you think the college game is still as attractive as it was, say, when you went to the Final Four with Stanford? And when I say attractive, in terms of even sports fans on the fringe, when you don't know a lot of the players nationally, at least from my end of it, it's just, you root for your local teams, you follow them. But, 10 years ago, I could tell you North Carolina's starting five. Now I got to look it up. What do you think?
Well, the reason I think there's such a great appeal for the college game is because it's competitive. It really, in a way, is less about star quality as it is kids' competitiveness, the enthusiasm, kids diving on the floor, taking charges, all the stuff you like about basketball. I think who it's hurt more than anything else is the professional game, because now you're watching 20-year-old guys that are their best players. And, to me, that's disturbing. It used to be they were men. They were the best players were the older, experienced guys. I think to the Wests and the Robertsons and back to those days. And, wow, it was just now you're looking at the same kids that would have been juniors in college. So I don't think it's hurt the college game in terms of its appeal, but I do think it's hurt the professional game in terms of its overall quality.
Yeah, a couple more minutes with Mike Montgomery. Cal headed to the NCAA tournament with a stop off at the Pac-10 event. Do you like the postseason tournament from the standpoint of what'd you play all season for if you're now going to have a tournament?
Well, I think you already know the answer to that.
Yeah, go ahead. So, I'm baiting you.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to get involved in that. I stated my opinion. I thought for the right reasons years ago, and everybody got mad at me. So I've kind of learned a little bit just to keep my thoughts to myself.
But it's a moneymaker, right? That's the bottom line?
It is. Yeah, it gets, I think there's certainly some merit to it from the standpoint of kids all get together. My objection would be, I guess, is you play 18 games. We're the only conference other than the Ivy League that plays a complete round robin where we play everybody in the league twice. I think your 18-game schedule kind of tells you where you stack up. Everybody has the same opportunity home and away, and the injuries and all the things that go on in a regular season. Okay, we've done that. Here we are, and we go back and going to play the same people again. Now, there's probably, I tell you what, 3 or 4 people in this league that could benefit this year that are very good basketball teams that maybe lost a game or two. Maybe 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not including ourselves in that, but so maybe from that standpoint it has merit. But I'll tell you, 3 games in a row is tough on these kids. We don't do that any other time during the year. So, we're going to go down and do the best job we can, certainly. And the kids are looking forward to it. I know that, and would love to win the thing. But, it's sometimes I guess a guy could say enough's enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I can't see, honestly, even with 64 or 65 teams you get in, I mean, in college football, you can laugh about that BCS, but you lose one game and then you're kind of on the fence all of a sudden. In college basketball, you can lose, 2, 3 early, and I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but you're still probably going to get into the tournament if you're good. That's the point. Huh?
Yeah, well, you're trying to get the best 65 teams, and that's what you're after, which is probably an impossible task as you start cutting it at the end. The other side of it, though, of course, in football is half of the teams that play Division 1A football go to a bowl. So, it's pretty competitive in college basketball. 340 teams, 65 get in.
Okay. And finally, we talked all about the Warriors last time you were on. I ask you one question. Did you really indeed, when you get back at the college game, did indeed your heart say this is where I belonged all the time, or did it take you a while to get acclimated again?
Well, it took a while to get acclimated. Not so long, because that's what I've done my whole life. It was taking me. I was acclimating to the professional, the whole professional gig as I went along a little bit. I just, as I read about all the things going on, I'm just amused. I've been there. I've watched it. I've seen that, and this time of year is tough if you're not winning games.
Yeah, and in fact, even we were just talking about Don, when you start, and every coach is going to have their own little secrets, but when you're fibbing a little bit on who's hurt, who's not, and now it comes back, it makes that last couple months a real long.
Well, but the thing about Don is he handles his stuff. He's the consummate pro. It's what he does, and he's been through this a million times. So it's he handles it and deals with it and understands it, and so. He'll make it through just fine. You know what I was just saying as we say goodbye here? Keep Jay Johns next to you. You look calm. Every time I look at Jay, my guy said the world's coming to an end, huh? No, does that make sense? I look, geez, relax, Jay. It's on Mike's head one way or the other. Well,
huh?
His blood pressure goes up more faster than mine does. Let me put it that way.
Every time I look, and he's got that look, oh, my God, we're only up 10 with 20 seconds to go. But
that's what makes him good.
I guess so. Hey, congratulations on everything, Coach, and we'll be following you right into the NCAA tournament.
All right, Gary, thanks. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, you bet. Mike Montgomery, the head coach at Cal.